Vancouver Island is full of hidden gems waiting to be discovered, both big and small. You all know that Kaylee loves animals, live or not live. And we found a place over here in Esquimalt, and there is a local artist named Paul Lewis, and he makes animals out of driftwood, and he just lines the beaches here full of animals. That's as close as you'll ever get to a bald eagle.
But I think the rocks in here are like the eggs.
Yep, yeah, that's its nest.
Yeah.
It's a raccoon!
You hear that? That's the sound of being out of a city. We left Victoria, we've made it to our next region that we're going to explore, the region of Sooke, and we checked into our campground this afternoon and headed straight for a regional park they have here called Sooke Potholes Regional Park. Some hiking trails up along the river, and we found some little waterfalls and areas for Kaylee to throw rocks in the water. That's one of her favorite things to do, and Will's able to finally fly the drone, so he's super excited about that. It just feels light years away from the city. We're not really city people. You know, we tried Victoria, we gave it a good shot, we did have fun, but this is our jam. We love being out in nature.
That was a skip. That was not.
Good morning, everybody. We're up bright and early again this morning. It's a Saturday, so we're exploring the area. We came to Vancouver Island back in 2019. Kaylee was only 4, so she doesn't remember very much of it. But one particular memory that sticks in our brain is a very delicious memory. It's Shirley Delicious. This is a very well-known little bakery and hangout just north of Sooke, and we're hoping to get some delicious treats this morning. I checked all trails yesterday, and as of yesterday, we've hiked 80 miles of our 225-mile goal for the year, so I think it's time we earned a little reward. What is that?
It's a dragon.
And what's it doing?
I guess eating a little elf for some reason.
All right, so the plan was to take our goodies down to the beach and eat them later, but
we just have to sample this. As big as my face cookie.
We got
just
a
have to.
toffee and dark chocolate cookie, and Will got
Banana dark chocolate raspberry muffin that looks like heaven, basically. That's what it looks like. Is it edible? Not really? No. Mommy and I won't like it, I'm sure, right? I didn't think so. Oh my word. This has like a streusel topping on it, so it gives you a little bit of crunch. But then that with the combination of the chocolate and the raspberries is just incredible. I absolutely love this. This has got to be one of my favorite pastries ever.
Eat the cookie.
Hey, that cookie was too expensive. Don't give that to the whale. All right, our second stop for the day, now that we've filled our bellies with treats, is a place called Sandcut Beach. This is a little regional park that's just north of Shirley Delicious. And one thing to keep in mind when you're doing the beaches along this stretch of highway is that the parking lots are very small. So parking something like our beast of a truck can definitely be a challenge. So if you can, get here early, and definitely don't try to tow an RV and do any touring while you're doing this stretch of the road.
There's also a fungi.
There's also a what?
A fungi.
Fun guy.
Well, thank you. I didn't want to make a big deal about it, but
You are a fun guy.
Down by the sea, at the edge of the water, the coming waves kiss my feet. The touch from the warm wind that's blowing reminded me of you.
there are a lot of steep steps, about 140 that lead down to Sandcut Beach, but these two waterfalls are absolutely stunning. But what is really cool to me is the water from the waterfalls doesn't flow directly into the ocean. It goes into a pool at the base, and then there's so many big rocks and things here that apparently it just flows under the rocks, and then you can see where it flows out from under them on the other side into the ocean.
In 1906, a major storm in the area caused the steamship Valencia to run aground, and 137 lives were lost. Sheringham Point Lighthouse was built in response to this tragedy and completed in 1912. A lightkeeper manned the lighthouse until 1989, and it sat empty for years, but is now preserved and restored for visitors to enjoy. So another one of our favorite memories of coming to Vancouver Island was discovering salmon berries. These look a lot like raspberries, but they're yellow and red and orange, and we thought we'd be a little too early in the year for them, but driving out to the lighthouse, we've seen tons of bushes, and we found a few of them that are actually ripe. So Kaylee loved these when she was 4 years old. You still love them?
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of them. They're a little tart.
They're very tart. They don't have much natural sugar in them at all. And we've learned that actually they can't mass produce these to sell them in grocery stores because they bruise very easily during shipping. So they're only enjoyed in the wild. Ooh, wow.
A little tart there.
Ooh, they're tart. Wow.
Like a cranberry, huh?
Not quite as tart as a cranberry. It's last day in Sooke this morning, and unfortunately it's going to be a day of errands. We've got laundry piled up to the brim of our hamper. Our house is filthy, so we're going to do one quick hike this morning. We're over at the East Sooke Regional Park.
Creyke Point.
Creyke or Creyke, I'm not sure exactly how this is pronounced. It's a 1 mile loop over to a little rocky outcropping into the water, and you can see across the Juan de Fuca Strait over actually into the mountains of Washington. I think part of the reason I love Vancouver Island so much is all of the moss. Everything is coated.
So pretty. Every rock surface, every tree has moss on it.
It's funny how it all played out. Broken dreams seldom get realized. For me, you were a part of life that escaped and left me outside. Who could see the will of time, and that you were still a friend of mine? Our story wasn't over yet, and no one can tell what's coming next. The journey is not ours to control. The journey is not ours to control. I'm glad that it is so. I'm lucky it is so.
We've been staying at the Sooke River Campground in the Sooke area, and it's pretty nice. Water and electricity, no sewer, and we've just been doing lots of errands today. This campground is only about a 3-minute drive from the city of Sooke, which is pretty small, but they have, most of the things that you need. Well, Shirley Delicious was Shirley Delicious, and it was so delicious that even our frugal selves, who almost never go out to eat, are like, is there any way we can go back?
This is a very, very curvy road north of Sooke, and it's extremely narrow, and there's a good bit of traffic, so we thought and the parking at Shirley Delicious is super tiny, so there's no way we can do this while we're towing. But right next to the highway was a pullout, just big enough, and there was nobody here, so it's a sign.
I think it's a sign.
We have to go get more.
Absolutely, we have to go get some more. No matter what anyone says, RV life can be challenging, for sure. There's always some kind of maintenance work that needs to be done. Gas mileage is terrible.
Yep.
Driving your home around on bumpy, curvy roads.
With very impatient Canadian people trying to get around you on those curves.
So, yeah, they do tend to like to go a little faster than we are able to.
Yeah.
But right now is not one of those difficult times.
I am learning on this trip to not plan quite so much, to not be so type A personality and have everything laid out. I had researched a couple of campgrounds in Port Renfrew, north of Sooke, and that was our destination for tonight. And we drove through the town of Jordan River, and there's a little first come, first served campsite right here on the side of the water. And there was an open site for us that we fit in.
We're like 50 feet from the water's edge. We've got all of our windows open so we can hear all of the waves.
And the best part is it's 25 bucks Canadian.
So it's like $18 American for one of the most beautiful campsites that we've ever had.
So right now we own a little bit of oceanfront property.
$1 million view for 18 bucks a night.
All right, we are doing something we typically don't do. We are starting a hike late in the afternoon. We usually like to get up early, beat the crowds, but many of the beaches and the trails along Vancouver Island are dependent on the tides. And we are hiking to Mystic Beach. We've never been here before. This is in the Juan de Fuca Provincial Park. It's about a 2-kilometer hike to the beach. And the main feature of this is that there is a waterfall that flows directly into the shoreline. If you come at really, really high tide, you can't access the waterfall. If you come when it's too low, it's not quite as scenic. So we've read that middle tide is kind of the best time to come. High tide was about 2 hours ago, so we're hoping that our timing is just right. So far, the trail has been absolutely gorgeous, and there's every shade of green in here that you can imagine.
In super wet, warm environments like this, when a tree will fall in the woods, often other little trees will start growing on that one. And the dead tree becomes a nurse tree because it's nursing the little ones that are coming along. It's pretty neat.
Could you stop walking so hard? Oh,
Like this?
oh, stop. Do we have a problem?
Houston, we have a problem.
Ay, ay, ay. I wouldn't call it a waterfall. I would call it more of a water trickle.
Yeah, maybe a little more than a trickle, maybe a water hose. But it is still beautiful. And the beach here with the waves crashing.
Just amazing. And there aren't many people, surprisingly. All we've had to do is keep Kaylee from trying to get in the water. That's all she wants to do is get wet.
Of course. The beach and the waterfall were incredible, absolutely beautiful. But the hike to get here is a bit of a slog, at least in places. It's got to be the rootiest, whatever it is, the most roots of just about any trail we've ever seen. And the trail has got to be one of the muddiest that we've ever done. And it's pretty hard to navigate. It's only about 1.3 miles or 2 kilometers from the trailhead down to the beach, but it took us almost an hour to go that distance. So don't think like we did that, oh, it's just over a mile, we can bust that out in 20 minutes. No.
Near the village of Port Renfrew is Botanical Beach, which is also part of Juan de Fuca Provincial Park. Alright, we're hiking the Botanical Beach Loop Trail that comes out from the parking lot, and it leads first here to Botany Bay. Beautiful, beautiful rock outcroppings, and Kaylee is already finding lots of sea creatures. What have you found so far?
Anemones and mussels.
If you look really carefully on the ground around this area, you're almost certain to find banana slugs. You can find them anywhere on the island, but especially some of these really wet coastal areas, you'll find a lot of them. And they're really weird creatures. Their eyes are up on stalks that come out of their head. They breathe through holes in their side, and they have both male and female organs. They pretty much look like a living booger.
It's a banana slug!
You finally found your very own slug.
I wonder, Kaylee, do you think they taste like bananas?
Ugh. We should name him. What should we name him?
Snotty.
Snotty.
We'll call him Mucus. We'll call him Muke for short.
This beach is known for its rich intertidal zone that supports many marine animals. Gooseneck barnacles, green anemones, chitons, and sea urchins can be found at low tide. Tide pools vary in size, depth, and temperature, which allows different species to find conditions that best suit them. Nutrient-rich ocean water makes food readily available, and wave-battered areas give many creatures protection from larger predators. Waves that crash at Botanical Beach originate far out in the Pacific Ocean, sometimes as far away as Alaska or even Japan. Over time, they carve out the rocky shelves, potholes, and tide pools that the beach is famous for.
Ugh.
Like a wet, slimy carpet.
These waves, this is incredible. We haven't seen waves like this since Chapel Beach over at Pictured Rocks.
These are bigger than Chapel Beach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
these
it's the
waves
ocean.
are even bigger because this is the actual ocean. It's not just an inland sea, this is the real thing.
We drove into Port Renfrew for a picnic lunch surrounded by the rocky beach and brilliant gorse. Before heading home, we stopped to visit Sombrio Beach, which has a hidden feature that isn't accessible at high tide. Since high tide was in just 2 hours, we hurried across the beach to make it in time. Alright, we are hiking to a hidden waterfall. And by the parking lot, it is not hidden anymore.
No, there are a lot of people, although I think most of the people that are here are actually for surfing.
Surfing. Yeah, we made it around the point where the high tide kind of cuts you off, and
Yeah.
we've got plenty of time to explore the waterfall. You see it? All right, let's go see it.
It is cold. We've seen probably hundreds of waterfalls, but of all of them, this is one of the most memorable for me. Being right here in this little slot canyon and the water just pouring down almost right on top of you, it's absolutely magical. I love it.
My feet are almost numb.
Is the water that cold?
Yes.
Join us down the road as we continue to discover the sights and smells of this incredible island. And until next time, enjoy your journey.